Hi, miss. There you go.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 5th, 2026 meeting of the Maplewood Township Committee. Before I read this statement, I just want to let you know that we'll be doing a salute to the flag, and after that, we'll do a moment of silence for Jonathan Tierston, and I'm going to ask Melissa Mancuso, our Director of Community Services, to come up and read us a little bit about Jonathan. So, pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws, 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2026 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2025, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Ms. Adams.
Here.
Ms. Collins Colding. Mr. Daffis.
Present.
Ms. Herman.
Here.
Mayor DeLuca.
Here.
Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires all meetings of public bodies be open to the public. And whereas Section 7A provides that the governing body has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting, and whereas desire the governing body to comply with the provision of this act, same time it conducts its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, that it does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca.
Yes, thank you. Again, we're going to ask you to stand for the salute to the flag, and also at the end to have a moment of silence for Jonathan Tierston, and Melissa Mancuso will read that at that time.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Come on up to the mic there.
We would like to take a moment of silence for Jonathan Tierston, our tennis director, who worked with the Department of Community Services since 2019. Jonathan began with us as a tennis instructor and later became tennis director, bringing with him a philosophy that focus is fun and fun is focus. He spent spring, summer, and fall seasons on the Maplewood courts, teaching and training athletes of all ages with an open heart, a kind spirit, and a true love for the game. Many also knew Jonathan for his role as Ricky Thomas in the 1980s horror classic Sleepaway Camp. But here in Maplewood, we knew him as a colleague, a coach, a friend, and a proud father to his 19-year-old son. On behalf of the Township and the Department of Community Services, we offer our heartfelt sympathy to Jonathan's family, friends, colleagues, athletes, and fans. We honor the time he shared with our community and the impact he had on those who knew him. Please join us now in a moment of silence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hate to say this, but we have a pretty busy agenda tonight, but it should go relatively quick because we have a lot of ordinances on introduction. But we're going to do 3 proclamations: Mental Health Awareness Month, Youth Week, and Water Safety. And I might say that we did a proclamation Sunday for the Maplewood Glee Club, and we will be doing one on the 16th of May for Haitian Day. So we're doing proclamations both here and at other events. This is part of our effort to recognize all the diversity of our community and to hold them up as an important part of our community. We then will have our Board of Health meeting. We'll have public comment, and that's on agenda items only. And then we will deal with our 2026 budget. We have a budget amendment, and I'll be asking our township administrator to explain a little bit more about that. If you're watching us, that might be a time to go get something to drink, because we'll be reading the whole budget amendment line by line, correct?
Correct, Mayor.
Okay, so be set for that one. Be prepared to eat and have something to drink while we're reading that. We're going to have on final passage, we have an ordinance on volunteer incentives. We have another one on the Open Space Trust Fund. We have stormwater utility bond. We have capital improvement bonds. And we have an ordinance on final on zoning amendments. Then we have an introduction of an ordinance on sewer charges, creating the Garden State CPACE program, changing some fees for construction, fees around rental properties, fees on fire prevention, fees on development, and then also handicap parking on Hillcrest Road. After that, we'll have administrative reports, reports from elected officials. We have 2 discussion items, and then we'll have our consent agenda. So, and then, I'm sorry, then at the end, we'll have our second public comment period, and that's on any subject matter. So with that, I'm going to ask Committeeman Daffis if he would start us off on the proclamations with the Mental Health Awareness Month.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As the Mayor stated, we always start our meetings with appropriate proclamations. We use the proclamations as an opportunity to raise awareness about important issues and to celebrate members of our community. As the Mayor said, we are steadfast in our commitment to inclusion and into raising important issues. I understand that recently some folks out there made fun of or sort of trashed one of our proclamations recently as ministerial and superficial. And I asked them to be a little bit more thoughtful. And those who celebrated that thought, when we do proclamations raising awareness about domestic violence, it's because domestic violence takes lives every single day, including here in our community. When we do proclamations raising awareness about pride, it's because our own LGBTQ community right here in this community is under attack because of what's happening nationally across the country, and so on and so forth. And so tonight, in that spirit and in that important tradition, we proceed with the first proclamation, the Mental Health Awareness Month. Are we good? Whereas Mental Health Awareness Month was founded by Mental Health America in 1949 as part of the organization's goal to shape advocacy, education, and community engagement around mental health. Mental health is an essential part of overall health and well-being and affects one's physical health, relationships, choices we make, and how we manage our stress every day. For 2026, there are 2 themes. The first being More Good Days Together by Mental Health America, and the National Alliance on Mental Illnesses theme, Stigma Grows in Silence. Healing begins in community. And healing begins when we do exactly this, when we talk about these things. It is not ministerial or superficial. We highlight these 2 themes because 1 in 3 adults report feeling lonely, and 1 in 4 adults report not having social and emotional support. 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. will experience a mental illness, and 1 in 6 U.S. youth aged 16 to 17 experience a mental health disorder each year, regardless of age, race, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status, Maplewood, South Orange, meaning it's happening right here in our affluent communities. It has been reported by the CDC that social isolation and loneliness increase a person's risk for heart disease and stroke and type 2 diabetes, depression, anxiety, self-harm, dementia, and more. It is because of these factors, through the programming we have through our municipal departments, our health department, and our partners, that we advocate, advertise, and create opportunities for citizens to connect and engage. And we remind all that you are invited, you belong, and you are valued. And so now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Dean Daffis, member of the Township Committee of Maplewood, on behalf of our Mayor, Victor DeLuca, and the rest of the Township Committee of Maplewood, hereby proclaim May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the Township of Maplewood. And we further resolve to remind citizens that Maplewood promotes the use of the 988 hotline for those having mental health or substance abuse crises, 211 for social services, and through our own crisis intervention social workers and partners, Maplewood has a multi-pronged approach to the health and well-being of its citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we have a Youth Week proclamation, and that's Committeewoman Adams.
Thank you, Mayor, and I wholeheartedly agree with your sentiments, Mr. Daffis, on the purpose and of our proclamations. They're a tradition. There are some, formalities that we do at these meetings, and they're important to, and not performative, as you say. I too was a little bit insulted by those comments. Because I didn't see the point, actually. Like, why attack something that's just recognizing what some people are going through, whether it's Parkinson's disease, like I did last meeting, because I have a family member, a close family member, who is diagnosed with that. Other things that we need to just raise awareness of, and sometimes, Ms. Brobro, parliamentary law was the one that was ridiculed for some reason, but these areas that we do these formal meetings, they require a certain amount of decorum and process and procedure, and the reason for that is to keep dialogue respectful and formalized to the extent so that you can actually make your point without what we've experienced for the last 10 years or so with regard to everything being, combative and nobody listening to the other side. So these formalities are important, and thank you for saying all that. So this proclamation is for Youth Week, and this is as a South Orange Elk. I'm pleased to read this into the record. Whereas the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks has designated May 1st through 7th, 2026 as Youth Week to honor America's junior citizens for their accomplishments and fitting recognition of their services to the community, the state, and the nation. And whereas the South Orange Elks Lodge 1154 will sponsor an observance of this week in tribute to the junior citizens of this community. And whereas these young people represent the nation's greatest resource, and in the years ahead, they will assume the responsibility for the advancement of our free society. And whereas our youth need the guidance, inspiration, and encouragement which we can give in order to help develop those qualities of character essential for future leadership and go forth to serve this great nation. And whereas to achieve this worthy objective, we should demonstrate our partnership with our youth, our understanding of their hopes and aspirations, and a sincere willingness to help prepare them in every way for the responsibilities and opportunities of citizenship. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Nancy Adams, member of the Maplewood Township Committee, on behalf of Vic DeLuca, Mayor of Maplewood, and on behalf of the entire Township Committee, do hereby proclaim the first week in May as Youth Week, and urge all departments of government, civic, fraternal, and patriotic groups, and our citizens in general, to participate wholeheartedly in its observance. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Committeewoman Collins Colding will do water safety.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess that touched all our hearts last meeting we had, and I had a statement as well. Proclamations in Maplewood are more than symbolic. They show what this town stands for. They reflect our commitment to diversity, inclusion, respect for all, and not just a selected few. They help define our identity as a welcoming and inclusive community. They raise awareness about important cultures, histories, and issues. They give visibility and support to groups who have often been overlooked. They set a tone for how we lead, how we engage, and support each other. They turn our values into action by encouraging conversation and understanding. They remind us that representation matters, that every voice counts. Proclamations may not be law, but they will have a real impact how they shape the culture, build connections, and make Maplewood stronger for everyone, including the next generation. This is not a game. These are real lives and real people. Service comes from the heart, not just pageantry. We are not kings and queens in Maplewood. We are human beings, and we care for each other, and that's what we do every single day.
Well said. Very eloquent, thank you.
So with that being said, I will go into the proclamation recognizing May 2026 as Water Safety Month in the Township of Maplewood. Whereas the Township of Maplewood, New Jersey, proudly recognizes that swimming, aquatic activities are more than recreation. They are essential to physical health, mental well-being, confidence, and vibrant quality of life for people of all ages. And whereas the township affirms that water safety education is not optional, but crucial in preventing drownings, injuries, and life-threatening emergencies. And whereas Maplewood is strengthened by the unwavering dedication of community organizations, our recreational professionals, swim instructors, great staff, public agencies who work tirelessly to provide safe facilities, quality swim instruction, and meaningful opportunities for residents to enjoy the water responsibly. And whereas the town deeply values the leadership of its Department of Community Services in delivering accessible, high-quality water programming, safety initiatives, and outreach that directly protect and empower our residents. And whereas the township also recognizes the vital work of statewide partners, including the New Jersey Recreation and Park Association and the New Jersey Swim Safety Alliance, whose continued efforts elevate water safety awareness, education, and prevention across New Jersey. And whereas the township believes it is our shared responsibility to ensure that every individual, family, children, private pool owners, swimmers, and visitors to swim to beaches and water facilities have access to the knowledge and tools needed to stay safe in and around water. Now, therefore, I, Jane Collins Colding, along with our mayor, Vic DeLuca, and the Township Committee here today, do hereby proclaim May 26 as Water Safety Month in the Township of Maplewood and strongly encourage all residents to actively learn, practice, and champion water safety throughout our community. This proclamation is more than a recognition. It is a powerful call to action. Lives depend on awareness, preparation, and education. By embracing water safety is a shared priority. We not only prevent tragedy, but build a stronger and more informed, more resilient community where everyone can enjoy water safely and with confidence.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We are going to, just before we move into the Board of Health, I would like to announce that we have been contacted by Congresswoman Ana Lilia Mejia's office to hold a town hall Friday night in this room. So we will be holding a town hall, or she will be holding a town hall Friday night. It's May 8th, and it'll be at 6 p.m. And we encourage all residents who are interested from SOMA to join us 6 p.m. Friday night right here at Maplewood Town Hall for Ana Lilia Mejia's first town hall in Essex County as a congresswoman. So we're very happy to be hosting her. Now we're going to move into our monthly Board of Health meeting, and I'll turn it over to our Board of Health President, Mr. Daffis.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll read the opening statement. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of New Jersey, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2026 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2025, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Ms. Adams?
Here.
Ms. Collins Colding? Mayor DeLuca?
Here.
Ms. Herman?
Here.
Mr. Daffis?
Present.
Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires that all meetings of public bodies be open to the public. And whereas Section 7A provides that the Board of Health has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation in the public at any meeting. And whereas desire the Maplewood Board of Health to comply with the provision of this act, same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be resolved by the Maplewood Board of Health, the Township of Maplewood, does hereby prohibit, except set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in deliberations of the Board of Health by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the Board of Health at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Colding? Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Thank you. I move the approval of the Board of Health meeting minutes from our last meeting, April 7th. Do I have a second?
Ms. Adams? Ms. Collins Colding? Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes, thank you again, and we're going to turn it over to our health officer, Candace Davenport. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Thank you very much. I'm going to go to our first slide, which will highlight our community health fair that we had on April 25th. Just want to say thank you to all of our partners, one of them who's here today, CSP&J. We had 18 health screenings of blood pressure, stroke assessments, and mammograms, 40 vendors, and 130 participants, and that was on a rainy day. So we look forward to doing it next year as a two-town venture and hopefully for better weather. And thank you to everyone who came out and benefited from the great services and programs available. On the next slide, we talk about our grand opening, which is Friday, May 15th. Oh, there's pictures. I'm so sorry. So I just want to highlight some pictures from our event. You can see all of the participants here. We had youth members, we had seniors, we had our South Orange Rescue Squad, our Maplewood Library, and all of our food vendors and our PD. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. It was a great day.
Yeah, wait. You also had a lot of us there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
saying.
That's what we want to highlight.
All of us. All of us. Well, you know.
Actually, you're in one of those photos right there.
Oh, look at that.
There's only one person who didn't make the photo.
I know.
I just wanted to, say that.
We got you. But we can take more photo ops at our grand opening on May 15th. That's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our new location as the new Maplewood Health Department and Community Support Center at 129 Boyden Avenue. We really hope everyone can stop by and attend. And if you can't, just don't worry, because we have so many activities and programs coming up that we know you'll be joining us throughout the year at our new location. One of the things that we're going to be doing is highlighting and introducing our new program, which is Community Food Access Plus. This will be starting on Monday, May 18th. That's our launch date, with our partners UCC, or United Community Corporation. This will be a move from the community fridge, which is on Springfield Avenue, to our new location. This will offer a more structured system of food distribution so that the food distribution will be more equitable. The dates that we will have them are Mondays, 3 to 6 p.m., and Thursdays, 1 to 4 p.m. at 129 Boyden Avenue in Maplewood. More information is available here and will be posted at the community fridge so that everyone is aware of the changes. And we really think that this is going to be a great thing for our community so that everyone gets a chance to access food, both dry goods, perishable items, and canned goods equitably. Next slide. Thank you to Vitalint. On May 27th, we are having a Maplewood blood drive in coordination with the Hilton Neighborhood Association, so just want to thank them for that. It'll be at the Maplewood Community Center at DeHart Park at 120 Burnett Avenue from 2 to 6 p.m. Every pint can save 3 lives, so we hope that people will come and donate blood, because we're always in short supply.
When is that?
May 27th.
Can we get rid of that turn up volume every time?
Yeah, just hit the little X.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to our nursing update, we just want to let everyone know on the next slides that we have free adult health screenings 3 times a month. We had one on May 1st at the Senior Citizen Center, where we screened 10 seniors. And then we have one on May 8th at the Baird Community Center, and May 12th at our Maplewood Senior Center from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. On the next slide, we just want to update everyone that we do have one new measles case in New Jersey. It is a infant that had international travel and was unvaccinated. This came through Newark Airport, so we are very concerned and keeping an eye on this very carefully. Just know that we are experiencing a high level of cases. As of April 30th, 1,814 confirmed measles cases were reported in the United States this year alone. So we are monitoring them. We'll keep you posted. Next slide talks about our yearly measles cases, just to highlight in visual form how our numbers have increased toward the end of last year and are only increasing this year. Next slide. Things that are going down in our numbers are our respiratory illnesses. So we just want to update you about COVID, influenza, and RSV, that we're still monitoring that. Even though those numbers say that they're low, do want to mention that influenza B is around and still going around. So we just want to let people know to still wash their hands, stay home if they're sick, and cover their cough. Typical respiratory hygiene procedures. Next slide. So this is the report for nursing for the month of April. These are our health screenings, and our immunization audits for the schools are winding down. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you so much. The environmental health update. These are our inspections that we've done, just so that you are aware of that. We also added a highlight at the bottom of a new section for bat exposures. We're hitting that time of year. In fact, it happens all throughout the year, but especially around this time, we're seeing an increase in bat exposure. So we're going to mention those just so that it's a highlight and people understand what is going on, and also that part of the funding that we do to Animal Control Solutions with our licensing is to provide for rabies testing of those bat exposure cases. Next slide goes into animal control. This is the report for the month of March. You can see we had 20 calls. Most of them are wildlife, but we do have some strays. And onto our last section, which is social services, just want to highlight that we had 32 cases for the month of April for the Crisis Social Worker Program. We have Dina Purcell here, who is our crisis social worker, who, if you have any questions, she's available here this evening to answer those questions. We'll also be giving a presentation at the Community Board on Police meeting tomorrow evening, just a brief presentation on our programs and the numbers for the program this year. Next slide talks about CSP&J, who is also here tonight to give a brief presentation on their services and year-end report. So if you're looking for social services, please note that we have those services available on site at the Maplewood Hilton Library branch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And you can get assistance with online services like food stamps, employment, applications, and scheduling medical health appointments, and employment assistance and rental utility assistance online. Our last slide, as you know, is we always count on these numbers to let people know to make the right call. Thank you so much for the proclamation on mental health, which did emphasize those numbers. We really greatly appreciate it. One more thing that I wanted to highlight, which is that the Mayor's Wellness Campaign provided us with a plaque for New Jersey's Healthy Town to Maplewood for your commitment to improving the health and wellness of your community. So I will be passing that around.
Wonderful. Could we take a pause there to see if there's any questions before we go to the presentation?
Oh, wait, should we take a picture?
Very nice.
Yeah.
We'll also be getting a banner, which we'll put up on site.
Yeah.
The cover on it.
And then we have the year from before.
It's the 2025 with
Yeah,
the
we haven't gotten the one for this
last
year yet.
mayor.
It's not when you, it's not when you put the shovel in the ground, it's when you cut the ribbon.
Aye.
That's right.
Okay, let's get back on track with our agenda. Are there any questions for Health Officer Davenport?
Nope.
I have a few remarks. I want to congratulate you and your team immensely. I want to salute you for this fantastic move of the health department to the former EMS building in Maplewood. Not only does it return to glory what that building used to be as a building providing mutual aid and assistance to people in crisis, it really, really underscores what it means to have public health. Right? We are now going to be able to provide full service wraparound support to folks in need in our community at 129 Boyden. And that is something that we all should be proud of. Let's stop there for
Oh, thank you. Yes.
a little love.
Hey, Maplewood.
And that is really remarkable because at a time of dwindling resources from the federal government, state budget in disarray, a lot of municipalities during COVID, after COVID, right before COVID, got rid of their local health departments and relied on the county. But this community, this governing body, and I'm going to take a little victory lap here for myself, I, Dean Daffis, championed our local public health because I saw the vision in what we could do at this building, and I'm so glad to see it come alive. And I will be there with bells and whistles next Friday for our grand opening, and everybody should join us.
Thank you, Board of Health Chair Dean Daffis.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I have a question about, actually I want to make one other statement and then I have a question. The other statement is to supplement your remarks about the move of the community fridge to this new location. You did say that it's to ensure better structure,
Yes.
right? And to ensure equitable distribution of food to those who need the food.
That is correct.
And that is true, because what we have seen now with several years of experience at the current location of the community fridge is that people show up and they don't find food for them. Or it's feast or famine. When there is, we get people and they fight over the food, and we have some public safety situations there. And it's a location that requires people to be out in the open, waiting for food to arrive. And in this current environment with ICE raids happening, and ICE was in town today, folks, and arrested 3 people, we have heard from folks that they're reluctant to be out in the open like that.
Correct.
So this ensures access, equity, because we will have staff distributing the food during distribution times, and it ensures safety. And when people are in crisis, food insecurity or other, that's what you want. You want inclusion, you want guaranteed access, and you want safety. And I love that we're calling it Food Plus, Food Access Plus, because we're also going to be providing that wraparound support, because often households in crisis need help with rental assistance or mortgage help, prevent foreclosure, or they need assistance with utility bills, or they need other kinds of help,
Yes.
right? Mental health.
Yes.
Other social services. So now we can provide that holistic wraparound support, and that is really what public health should be doing, and that's what it's about. And seriously, like if Washington really wanted to know a model of public health, they should just look to us, our little town right here, with the little that we have and how incredibly resourceful
Yes.
we are. So again, to you,
Thank you.
and your team.
Thank you to Maplewood. Yeah, just as, as the federal government is, tearing down public health, Maplewood has shown that we double down on our residents and the health of our people. So thank you.
Raquel, you're smiling. You're like, Dean's on fire tonight. I am. I had a workout right before the meeting tonight, so I'm really fired up. Okay, so my other question is...
Could I add also my
Yes.
congratulations
Yes.
to Candace? When this idea first came up and we toured this space, and Mr. Daffis, congratulations to you as well. When this first came up, it was perfect. We were talking about how to use that space after the library left, and when this topic of moving the health department there and creating the wraparound services with the fridge there, it just absolutely fits the space. It fits our mission. It fits our values.
Everything.
100% to all of it. I am so proud of this move, and thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you, Mr. Daffis, for championing this.
All of us. Team effort. Team effort.
All of us can be very proud about this new, amazing building that we are going to be dedicating or cutting the ribbon cutting the ribbon on Friday. So I am very excited about that. Not this Friday, next Friday.
Next Friday. Yep, the 15th.
The question relates to a couple slides before the end where we talk about the CSP&J services currently available at the Hilton branch
Yes.
on Saturdays. Those services will move over to 129 too, right?
We might leave them there just for now because that's where people are used to finding them. And then we will look to see if more people come on Saturdays and want it at that location, then we will definitely move it over.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're not confusing people.
Yeah, we just want to make one change at a time.
Sure.
So that, and then, UCC is doing the food distribution, but CSP&J is doing our homeless outreach and engagement, which they're going to talk about, and these services, and they will be referring to each other throughout the week.
Great. All right, let's move forward with our agenda and the presentation from CSP&J.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to introduce Lashima Edwards to give our presentation on CSP&J, and Raquel, also from CSP&J. I do want to highlight all of their successes that they've done. It is very notable, especially the diversion cases that is on the last slide. Thank you.
Wow, that was intense, right? But we're going to make it happen and make it all come together.
Yes.
You want to start?
Don't forget to use the mic. That mic's kind of sensitive or not sensitive enough, so put it real close to you.
No, you have to be in front of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is this close enough?
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we have a team out there 4 days out of the week, a team of two gentlemen that go out and do outreach. So this data here represents what we have done since July, or actually the last time we met in August, up until April 30th. So just to highlight just a few things, because you all can read the slides. We provided 66 transport supports, and that includes vehicle transports, and bus tickets for transportation wherever folks wanted to go, whether it was for services, whether it was for appointments, whether it was to the wellness center, wherever folks needed access to, we provided those transportation supports. We also completed 58 housing applications, which I think was really great for the team to be able to do that. Having that access to the library made that accessible. 101 connections to our community wellness center, which successfully connected or were referred to the wellness center. So a lot of folks have joined the community where they can feel connected and socially. Also, just to highlight, we also referred 18 folks to detox and healthcare and medical referrals if they need it. So what this data shows is that we assisted with many barriers that folks face in the community and try to help to support them. Next slide, please. You want to add a thing? Okay. So this data here is showing that the 620 represents the total engagement in HIMIS. So everything that is here is the data that is captured in HIMIS. So the 620 represents what's in HIMIS since the program has started, total engagements. The 349 represents from July of 2025 to May 4th of the total encounters that were entered into HIMIS. So those are different encounters. And then we just added the 304 unique individuals who are in HIMIS, so it also shows that we had multiple encounters with the folks between July of 25 and May 4th of this year. And of those individuals, 95 reported to be individual females and 233 reported to be males, and for those who are not accounted for, they declined to answer. Next slide, please. And just some of our successes. Since we last started last year, we had 19. I added an additional 5, which means overall we had 24 referrals for diversion. This year, we managed to, between July 2025 and May 4th of 2026, we managed to service 5 individuals, 3 which was facing eviction. 2 were facing eviction in court, which they had 2 days, and we managed to successfully pay the back rent in order for them to remain housed. And then we had 1 individual female who actually ended up being evicted, but within 4 months, we were able to provide a security deposit and first and second month's rent, and she is now securely housed. And last but not least, because we have 2 pending applicants, because we had a little sprint about a month ago, where 2 individuals right now are waiting. They're on the waiting list for TBRA. So that is pending. So hopefully next time we see you, we can tell you that they successfully have been housed.
Hi, Raquel with CSP&J. First and foremost, thank you for your time. And to be direct, we have a team, an outreach team in Maplewood, but what they do in Maplewood is not just outreach, it's prevention, it's stabilization, and it's protection for the community. You can either invest in outreach or you can pay for crisis. That's one way to put it. Maplewood is definitely on the right side of the line. This is a beautiful town. Just hearing all the wonderful things and the council's reaction is it's quite the example to set. You're right, come on down Washington, for sure. We'll be right here to support that. But we show up in the spaces where vulnerability is visible, the transit areas, all the public spaces, and the team engages with those who are disconnected from services, from housing, from support. And they don't do drive-by outreach and hand out cards like numbers and keep it moving. They make connections, they build trust, and that takes consistency. That work, sometimes it's not just one conversation, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 20 of the same conversation over and over, but that trust has to be established. And the reality is, people don't accept help from systems, they accept help from those who they trust and who they have a rapport with. And then that's where we come in, and that's the work that we do. And what this means for Maplewood is simple. We handle things early, before they become something bigger, louder, much more expensive, for sure. Before it becomes a police call, before it's a hospital visit, an emergency room visit, before the situation the whole town is reacting to rather than preventing, right, or managing rather. And we don't chase these crises, we get in front of them, and the cost of proactive outreach is minimal compared to the emergency response that, you know, the system kind of has to carry weight of social issues, for lack of a better term. But we're not adding to any cost. We're reducing pressure on everything else you already fund, really. So, and it's very special work. So it requires trained staff who understands trauma, de-escalation, and how to navigate New Jersey's housing service system, which in and of itself needs quite the navigation, and quite the tool, right? But we are not just connecting people to services, we're making sure they actually get through that door, stay connected, and move forward, and build them up. You know, we help break that cycle, and we stay responsive. And if something shifts in Maplewood, we don't wait, we adjust, we show up, and we'll work alongside you. So at the end of the day, this program, the outreach program, represents a choice to be proactive instead of reactive, and a choice to be strategic instead of stretched thin. So thank you for your time.
Thank you both. Are there questions for my colleagues?
Yes, thank you for the compliments. Has our experience here been used to help other communities do this?
Absolutely. Yes, yeah, we actually are part of, we partner with DCA in a handful of communities across the state, and we have a lot of different kinds of partnerships, right? I can list them, it'll take me all night to list them. Everything from like an emergency, like a municipality's emergency response, what we call like a sprint project, right? So I think there was one here with 2 individuals. We have, some of them are up to 30, 40, 50, 60 individuals that, you know, are basically, for lack of a better term, swept off the streets, right? And then put into like a transitional type of situation, and then move along into permanent housing with all the supports built around that they need. So we've successfully done that in 5 different municipalities. And then we work all over the state of New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, and our closest
Yeah.
our closest municipal neighbor engaged in this very successfully is Newark.
Yes.
Yeah, where they this organization and their partner Bridges Outreach has a significant street outreach program there, trying to get to folks near the train station, the PATH program,
Yes.
and it's been really, really instrumental in getting people who've been chronically unhoused off the street, eventually, permanently into housing.
Yes.
After that transition, like you said. And I just want to take a moment here. I'm sorry I'm going to embarrass you a little bit, Raquel, but good stuff, good stuff. I want to just, highlight that Raquel is a person with lived experience. She's a Garden State leader. It's a program that allows people with lived experience to be at the table determining policy in this area for others. So here you are to show that, we can make this happen if we put the resources to it and we work with people and we do it in partnership. And now you're helping others who were in the same position that you were before. And who better to build that trust with people in crisis than someone who understands what they're going through, not some municipal elected person, not some bureaucrat in state government, but someone who is on the ground, who knows what it's like, right?
Yes, absolutely. And CSP is the largest, peer-led organization in the state of New Jersey. We have 430 staff all over the state, and 99.999% of them are peers, right? So from frontline all the way to the admin, exec level, everybody's a peer.
Yeah, and this program is led by a woman, and here are more women in power too, right? So there you go. This is beautiful all around.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions from the Township Committee? Wonderful. Thank you for your presentation. Are there members of the public who are here in person who would like to address the Board of Health? Ask any questions? Come on up. You guys could sit down. Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you, Michelle Barbaro, 51 Coolidge Road.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. I have been donating food from an organization, leftover prepared food. Will you still be accepting that at the community fridge, and how do I do it?
Good question.
Thank you.
And others.
And yes, so for all donated services, thank you so much. For all donated food items, we're going to ask that people call UCC to coordinate the delivery of those to the location. What they'll do is they'll coordinate with the people to bring the food when they're there on Mondays and Thursdays and distribute it out right there. If that's inconvenient for people, because sometimes Mondays and Thursdays don't work for everyone, they will also pick up at your home to make it easier for you. So, yep. So that's again part of the plus system that we're doing. And then as for, we always want to encourage people to provide fresh, perishable items that can be individualized and individually passed out, dried foods and canned goods. So those are the items that we're looking to provide to people. Thank you so much for your donations.
Any other questions for other members in the public here with us? Seeing none, Mr. Worry, can we move to online?
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to address the Board of Health, please raise your hand. I see no hands.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to adjourn this meeting. Thank you again for a great presentation.
Thank you so much.
And we'll meet again on Wednesday, June 3rd. Do I have a second?
Ms. Adams? Ms. Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes?
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes. Thank you. And turning it back over to you, Mayor.
Thank you. We are now at our first public comment period. And this is on agenda items only. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the Township Committee on an agenda item? Seeing no one, would you check online, please?
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to address the Township Committee on agenda items only, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Thank you. We'll close that public comment period. We'll move to item 9, which is the beginning of the budget.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a script, and I'm going to deviate a little bit from the script because I don't like everything we're doing, but you can start.
I'm going to start with line 1.
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
This is a time fixed for the public hearing on the 2026 municipal budget. The budget was approved by the governing body on April 7th and advertised as required by law on April 8th, 2026, together with notice of hearing for this time. Printed copies have been made available to the public during the past week, and a supply is here on this table for anyone desiring a copy.
If anyone has not secured a copy of the budget, you may do so now. You can come on up, only if you're in the building. Okay, and you're next.
Mayor, I have a resolution regarding the reading of the budget by title only.
And that's going to be moved by Committeewoman Adams and seconded by Committeewoman Collins Colding.
Yeah, I offer the foregoing resolution and move for its adoption.
I second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. So just so everyone is aware, we pass a resolution so we can read the budget by title as opposed to going down line by line by line by line. And the budget, as we said, is available here if anyone would like the budget. And it is available after this meeting. If anybody wants to come to Town Hall and pick up a copy, they can certainly do so. We now are going to open the hearing on the 2026 budget. So if you'd like to address us, it would be come up here. We're going to ask anyone online. This is only about the municipal budget, so it doesn't deal with the county budget nor the school budget. So I now declare open the public hearing on the 2026 municipal budget. Is there anyone in the room who would like to offer comments? Seeing no one, would you please check online?
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to address the Township Committee in the 2026 municipal budget hearing, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay. Can I get a motion Ms. Adams to close the hearing.
I move to close the public hearing on the budget.
Second.
Okay.
Ms.
Please call the roll.
Adams?
Yes.
Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. And then Committeewoman Adams, you have another motion, and that is to amend the budget. So it's 11A.
Ah, okay, got it. Yes, I move the resolution, oops, sorry, 11A, my bad. Sorry, I was in the wrong one. I move Resolution 160-26 to amend the township budget for 2026.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. I believe, Ms. Fritzen, you have to read that amendment?
Yes, Mayor, I'm going to read the amendment, and I will not feel bad if anybody, moves around.
You're fine. Just speak into the mic, and let's go.
Bear with me, the print is very small. It's a resolution to amend the Maplewood Township 2026 municipal budget. Whereas the local municipal budget for the calendar year 2026 was introduced on April 7th, 2026, and whereas the public hearing on said budget was held on May 5th as advertised, and whereas Maplewood Township desires to amend said budget. Now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee, Township Maplewood, that the attached amendments to the introduced budget of calendar year 2026 be made. Be it further resolved that 2 certified copies of this resolution will be filed in the Office of the Director of the Division of Local Government Services for certification of the local and municipal budget so amended. So just so the public and the Township Committee, of course, can follow what I'm reading. We start off with general revenues, and then I will be reading individual categories. And the first column is the numbers are from and then to. Miscellaneous revenues. Section F, special items of general revenue, anticipated with prior written consent of Director of Local Government Services, public and private revenues offset with appropriations. National Opioid Settlement Fund from $28,573 even, and the to number is $30,463 even. Body armor grant, 0, and the to numbers $4,031 even. Safe and secure grant, 0, and the to number is $14,678 even. Emergency management performance grant, also 0 as the from number to $10,000 even. Click it or ticket. The from number is 0 to $2,120 even. Total Section F, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, public and private revenues offset with appropriations. The from number is $255,346 even to $288,065 even. Item 3, miscellaneous revenue, Section G, special items of general revenue anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, other special items. Police Department outside duty administrative fees. The from number is $311,360 even to $168,360 even. Interfund due from General Trust Fund Nothing in the from column to the to column, $673,000, $18 even. Total, Section G, special items of general revenue, anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, other special items. The from is $4,900,872 to $4,539,890 even. Subtotal general revenues from is $18,828,303, and that's a to number of $19,391,040 even. Total general revenues from is $62,799,246 even to $63,361,983 even. All right, that's page one.
Yes, it is.
How many pages?
There's 2 more pages.
Well, I'd call it a page and a half.
Okay,
Just keep going.
General appropriations. A, operations within caps. Public buildings and grounds, other expense, $590,500 even. Again, we're starting with the from numbers in this entire column to the to numbers on this page. To $617,500 even. Total public buildings and grounds, $590,500, even to $617,500 even. Total appropriations within the caps, $51,342,496 even, $28,411,362 even. Total appropriations including contingent within the caps, $51,352,496 to $28,411,362 even. Detail other expenses, $11,300,316, and the to column is $11,327,316 even. Current fund, general appropriations continued. Deferred charges and statutory expenditures, municipal within the caps. Deferred charges. Deficit in operations. From number 0, and it goes to $284,040 even. Total deferred charges and statutory expenditures, municipal caps, within caps, $5,924,511 even, and the to number is $6,208,551 even. Total general appropriations for municipal purposes within the caps, $34,335,873 even, and the to numbers $34,646,913 even. Operations excluded from the caps. Public and private programs offset by revenues. National Opioid Settlement Fund, $28,573,000 even, and that goes to $30,463 even. Body armor grant, 0, goes to $4,031 even. Safe and secure grant, from 0 to $14,678. Emergency management performance grant, from 0 to $10,000 even. Click it or ticket, 0 to $2,120 even. Total public and private programs offset by revenues. The from column, $255,346 even, and that goes to $288,065 even. Total appropriation excluded from caps, $17,623,182 even, and that to two number is $17,655,901 even. Detail, salaries and wages, $4,310,810 even, and the two numbers $4,310,810 even. Other expenses, $13,312,372 even, and the two number goes to $13,345,091 even. Municipal debt service, interest on notes. The from column is $533,650 even, and it goes to $752,628 even. Total municipal debt service excluded from caps. The from number is $8,378,709 even, and that goes to $8,597,687 even. Total general appropriations for municipal purposes excluded from caps. The from number is $26,763,373 even, and the two numbers $27,015,070 even. Total general appropriations excluded from caps. First number, the from, is $26,763,373 even, and that goes to $27,015,070 even. Total general appropriations. The from number is $61,099,246 even, and that goes to $61,661,983 even. Total general appropriations. The from number is $62,799,246 even, and that goes to the to number is $63,361,983 even. That concludes page 2.
And that actually is the general operating budget. And now we're going into stormwater utility and the open space trust fund.
Yes, we are. Okay, stormwater utility, appropriations from stormwater utility. And again, the first number I read is the from number, and the second number is the to. Operating other expenses, $311,300 even, and it goes to, the to number is $538,185 even. Debt service, payment on bond anticipation capital notes. From numbers $224,885 even, and the two numbers 0. Interest on notes, $14,000 even, and the two numbers $12,000 even. Total debt service, $238,885 even, and the two numbers $12,000 even. Total stormwater utility appropriations, the from number is $874,935 even, and the to number to the column 2, $874,935 even. Open Space Trust Fund. Appropriations from the Open Space Trust Fund. We have payments on bond anticipation notes and capital notes. The from column is $48,695 even. The to column is $48,701 even. Reserved for future use. The from column is $533,530 even. The to number is $533,524 even. Total appropriations, the from number is $623,255 even. The to number is $623,255 even. Okay, be it further resolved that these amendments, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 40A 4-9, be published in which is the official Township of Maplewood website and posted, and that said publication contain notice that the hearing on the attached amendment will be held on May 19th at Town Hall, 574 Valley Street, Maplewood, New Jersey, at the municipal building at 7:30 p.m. Be it further resolved that pursuant to NJSA 40A 4-9, these amendments shall not be effective until after the public hearing thereon. And I don't even work in the finance department.
That was very good.
And those numbers start making you crazy.
So there was one number that you said about a half hour ago. Could you repeat that number? No. So thank you. So we have a motion made and seconded to amend the budget. I would like to ask Mr. Weary if he would give us an explanation of why we're amending the budget, the process, and what did you find in this further process in the last month or so that we've been looking at the budget?
Thank you, Mayor. So after the Township Committee introduced the budget earlier in April, the auditors completed our 2025 annual financial statement, and that AFS shows us an unaudited account of our 2025 operations, and it also shows us our year-end balances. On the operation side from last year, we have very good news. It shows that we generated $3.2 million in additional fund balance. And in our 2025 municipal budget, we used only $2.7 million as revenue, so less than we generated. And that results in our fund balance increasing from $10.6 million to $11.1 million. So that's very good news for the township's finances.
And just explain why that's important and what are the decisions that we make that really having a strong fund balance impacts that?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits that come from having a strong fund balance. So one, everybody needs cash flow. We don't always take in municipal revenue at the same rate that we're paying out municipal expenses. As a taxing entity, we also collect taxes for the county and for the school district. There are times that we are remitting money to them that we may not have already collected. And so cash flow is really important in that respect, but that goes for all of the bills that we pay. We want to make sure that we have enough flow so that we don't find ourselves at any point in the year not having enough cash on hand to cover our expenses. It also helps our rating. So when we go out to be rated for either bond anticipation notes or for permanent financing, rating agencies look at the amount of fund balance we have, and a better rating gives us lower rates on interest. So that's saving the township money, which is really great. And so, those are maybe the two largest things in a single year. Year over year, though, there are times when a municipality has greater expenses than it's able to generate in revenue that year for a number of reasons. Recently we saw COVID. It could be large capital expenses. It could be other large expenses that were just not anticipated. And so having a healthy, like even in personal finances, having a healthy savings account helps you kind of even out some of those peaks and valleys year over year, because you can use a little more fund balance as surplus in one year and maybe a little less in next year. And that helps us because it helps keep our municipal tax rate, so what residents see on their tax bill year over year, it helps us keep that a little steady over time. And so that's really helpful for us. We have a fund balance policy where we want to keep a certain percentage of our total budget as in fund balance. And so we're just about within our target goal of total fund balance that we want. But just like every year, our municipal budget generally grows because the cost of goods and services increase. We also want to make sure that we're having more money in savings in that fund balance year over year. And so we were able to do that this past year as a result of our operations, and that's really good news for the township. So again, fund balance, the 12/31 number for fund balance is $11.1 million. And all that is a result of operations. The annual financial statement also shows us our year-end balances, and a lot of those year-end balances feed into the budget document. We had, since the AFS was not done prior to the introduction of the budget, we made some assumptions, and some of those things are now being corrected to really fine-tune some of the appropriations in this resolution that you're passing tonight. You can even
Excuse me,
like some of
for our public following along, can you explain what the AFS is?
the annual financial statement.
Yeah, just so people who are following along with the budget.
Yes, yes. So again, it's the unaudited account of our prior year operations. You'll see there are even some small amounts, like I think the last one that the clerk had read was a $6 difference in an appropriation out of the Open Space Trust Fund. So it does get that granular. The 1 year end balances that our auditor identified is a deferred charge in our current fund, and that is a result of our financial records not reconciling with our cash position. By statute, we are required to raise a deferred charge in the following year budget. So one of the amendments to the budget is an addition of $284,000 that will cover that deferred charge. We also add an offsetting revenue so that all of the changes we've discussed in this budget amendment have no impact on taxes. They're tax neutral.
And can you remind us even the amended budget, the percentage increase in tax rate from 25 to 26?
Yes, it remains at 2.95%. So that's the same on introduction, and we expect it to be the same in 2 weeks when we move to adopt the budget. And we also identified an interest on note payment that was coming out of the stormwater utility that should be in the current fund, and that was probably the other large number that you saw in this budget amendment. Again, after all of this, the tax increase remains at 2.95%, and we're fortunate to be in the financial position that we're in because it makes these kind of amendments much easier for us.
Okay, any questions or comments? All right, we have a motion to amend the budget. Please call the roll. We have a motion and second.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor Dulga?
Yes. And then Ms. Adams and Ms. Collins Colding, can we get a motion and a second to move the adoption of this budget to May 19th?
Mayor, I move the adoption of this budget to the May 19th meeting.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor Dulga?
Yes, and we will have as our clerk said in reading the amendment, we will have another public hearing on the amendment on May 19th, and we expect to do a final adoption on May 19th. We're now going to move to ordinances on final passage.
Yes, Mayor, we're at item number 12. Ordinance on final passage, ordinance number 3194-26, is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 65 of the Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Volunteer Incentives. This ordinance will amend and supplement Chapter 65 of the Township Code to include Maplewood residents who volunteer with the South Orange Rescue Squad.
This ordinance has been published, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. And it was published on the Township website. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this ordinance, which allows Maplewood residents who volunteer with the South Orange Rescue Squad to get some benefits? Seeing no one in the room, is there anyone online?
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. I I see no hands, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor, can we get a motion?
I move this ordinance to be adopted as a whole, and the clerk be directed to post the same as a passed ordinance on the township's website and town hall bulletin board according to law.
A second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. We have another ordinance on final.
Yes, Mayor. Item 12B also on final. Ordinance 3195-26. Ordinance appropriating $680,604 from the Open Space Trust Fund to provide for various purposes in and by the Township of Maplewood in the County of Essex.
This ordinance has been published on the township website, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak on this ordinance, which is the Open Space Trust Fund? Seeing no one, please check online.
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeeman Daffis?
I move this ordinance to be adopted as a whole, and the clerk be directed to post the same as a passed ordinance on the township's website and town hall bulletin board according to law.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams? Yes. Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. 12C?
Next, we have 12C, ordinance number 3196-26, bond ordinance providing for various improvements to the stormwater utility in and by the Township of Maplewood in the County of Essex, New Jersey, appropriating $736,165 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $736,165 in bonds or notes to the township to finance the cost thereof.
This ordinance has been published on the township website, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, is there anyone online?
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeewoman Adams?
I move this ordinance be adopted as a whole, and the clerk be directed to post the same as a passed ordinance on the township's website and town hall bulletin board according to law.
I second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. 12D?
Yes, Mayor. 12D, ordinance number 3197-26, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Maplewood in the County of Essex, New Jersey, appropriating $5,705,000. Hold it. $5,705,819, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $5,422,000 even in bonds or notes to the township to finance part of the cost thereof.
This ordinance has been published on the township's website, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, check online, please.
If anyone joining on Zoom would like to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Thank you. I move this ordinance be adopted as a whole, and the clerk be directed to post the same as a passed ordinance on the township's website and the town hall bulletin board according to law.
A second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams? Yes. Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you.
Next, we have 12E, ordinance number 3198-26, is an ordinance amending Chapter 272 of the Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Zoning Review and Permits to amend the fees for zoning review. This ordinance will amend the fees charged for a zoning review by the zoning officer for any proposed development or renovations that are subject to the township's zoning laws.
This ordinance has been published on the township website, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. Is there anyone in the room who would like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, please check online.
Anyone joining on Zoom would like to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'll move it. I move this ordinance to be adopted as a whole and the clerk be directed to post the same as a passed ordinance on the township's website and town hall bulletin board according to law.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. We have introduction of ordinances.
Yes, we're at number 13 now. They're all introduction of ordinances. Mayor, the first one being 13A, ordinance number 3199-26. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 123 fees of the Township Code to revise certain sewer charges and Chapter 223 sewers to extend sewer payment dates in certain circumstances. This ordinance will amend certain sewer charges and extend the due date for sewer payments in certain circumstances.
Mayor, I move the passage of this ordinance on first reading, its publication according to law on the township's website and town hall bulletin board, and a hearing to be held on May 19th.
Oh, second. Sorry, I got lost here.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Holding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you.
Next one, also on introduction, ordinance number 4000-26. It's an ordinance opting into the Garden State C-PACE program to facilitate the financing of C-PACE projects. This ordinance authorizes the Township of Maplewood to opt into the Garden State C-PACE program, enabling eligible commercial and certain other properties to obtain direct financing for clean energy and resiliency improvements through a voluntary special assessment mechanism administered in coordination with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority.
I move the passage of this ordinance on first reading and its publication according to law on the township's website and town hall bulletin board, and a hearing to be held on June 3rd.
Second.
Oh, wait. Did I say
Hearing
that?
on May 19th.
May 19th. Apologies.
Oh, I second that one.
Do you want me to do the motion again?
No, we're good. Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Thank you. Yes.
Next, we have item 13C, ordinance number 4001-26. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 123 fees of the Township Code to revise certain construction fees. This ordinance will revise certain construction fees.
I move the passage of this ordinance on first reading and its publication according to law on the township's website and town hall bulletin board, and a hearing to be held on May 19th.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
Next, we have 13D, which is ordinance number 4002-26, an ordinance amending Chapter 209, rental properties of the Township Code to revise certain rental registration fees. This ordinance will revise the missed appointment fee with respect to rental registrations, period.
Period. I move the passage of this ordinance on first reading and its publication according to law on the township's website and town hall bulletin board, and a hearing to be held on May 19th.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams? Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
Next on introduction, ordinance number 4003-26. An ordinance amending Chapter 123 fees of the Township Code to revise certain fire prevention fees. This ordinance will revise certain fire prevention fees.
And before we move and second the ordinance, Ms. Credidio, could you discuss this a bit?
Sure, Mayor. After we discussed this in the Code Subcommittee, there was additional feedback from the Township's fire official with respect to certain of the inspection fees for non-life hazard uses. The fire official feels these fees are necessary and desirable in order to carry out the department's functions and make it operate efficiently. Consistent with what we discussed at Code, the small property inspections are going to have one fee, previously discussed at $60, would now be $75 for any occupancy up to 6,000 square feet. Then the following fees are going to be $75, $225, and $325 respectively for different space categories up to 10,000 square feet or larger. Also with multifamily dwellings, again, the smaller units, a 3 to 5 dwelling unit, is going to be a $60 inspection fee, with that number rising to $150 and $240 with respect to properties between 6 and 25 dwelling units, and then over 25 dwelling units.
And those numbers are included in the ordinance that we'll be introducing?
Yes, that is included in the ordinance that is posted right now.
Okay, thank you. So can we get a motion?
I move the passage of this ordinance on the first reading and its publication according to law on the Township's website and Township Hall Bulletin Board, and the hearing to be held on May 19, 2026.
I second.
Any comments, questions? Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance number 4004-26, ordinance amending section 271-71 of the Maplewood zoning and development regulations entitled Development Fees, revising application fees and required escrow deposits under certain circumstances. This ordinance will revise certain fees and escrow deposits to be paid in connection with an application for development.
Thank you. Before we go into moving it and second it, Ms. Credidio, you have some additional information with this?
Sure. When we discussed this ordinance at Code Committee, there was a desire from the subcommittee, bless you, to include consequences for applicants who do not replenish their escrow amount as required by our ordinances. We've spoken with the planning board attorney. He had some recommendations to this language. So now it reads that if the applicant fails to remit the additional escrow amount within 15 days of notice, the planning board or zoning board can consider that delinquency in scheduling matters. So someone who's in compliance with their escrow requirements may be scheduled ahead of someone who's delinquent. The planning or zoning board may reschedule a pending hearing, and/or the planning or zoning board may include payment of any outstanding amounts as a condition of any approval.
Thank you. Can we get a motion, Mr. Daffis?
I move the passage of this ordinance on first reading and its publication according to law on the Township's website and Town Hall Bulletin Board, and a hearing to be held on May 19th.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. And our last ordinance on introduction.
Yes, Mayor, the final one, ordinance number 4005-26. It's an ordinance to amend Chapter 257 of the Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Vehicles and Traffic with respect to handicap parking. This ordinance amends Section 257-56 of the Township Code to remove a designated handicap parking space at 14 Hillcrest Road.
I move the passage of this ordinance on the first reading and its publication according to law on the Township's website and Town Bulletin Board, and a hearing to be held on May 19th.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adams? Yes. Ms. Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. We'll now move to administrative reports. Mr. Weary?
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item. New Jersey American Water, as everyone's aware, has been doing lead service line replacements and meter pit installations throughout town for the past year. And we have, just after winter finished and people's lawns are starting to grow in, we're getting a lot of complaints that New Jersey American Water has not restored, especially around the meter pit, where usually between the curb and the sidewalk, but also in some areas, if you had a service line replaced that went across your front lawn, it may now be a muddy patch. And around the meter pit is, a lot of crushed stone and nothing is growing. The township engineer and I have been working or trying to work with New Jersey American Water over the last few weeks to get them to expedite those restorations. We have asked them for a timeline and asked them for contact information where residents can go to complain or to ask for updates on their own installation. So we're trying to work with New Jersey American Water to manage this a little bit better. And we will have some communications going out to the public on what the timeline should be and where they can report any issues. So I want to give that. I know I've received some concern from members of the governing body, and also a few departments in the township have been receiving concern from residents. And so just wanted to address that. That's all, Mayor.
Yeah, the other thing that would be very helpful is if we can soon release what roads we're going to be paving, because I'm getting similar questions.
Yes.
As I walk around this community, the dissatisfaction with New Jersey American Water is just out there. And so people are asking, a lot of these patches have sunk because of settling, and people are asking what are we doing. So if we could put that out there also, it would be helpful.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have a question for our administrator. Do we have an update from SCFD regarding the thing that I shared at the last public meeting relating to the repeated false alarms, fire alarms from Gaslight Commons, and the process that SCFD has in place to rescue residents from apartment buildings or other dwellings during fire alarms, residents with mobility issues?
Yeah, on the first part, the SCFD Management Committee discussed this at their most recent meeting, and I believe the fire department was tasked with making a report back to the Management Committee on that.
And also, you and the administrator of South Orange are to look at our current penalties for false alarms, financial penalties, to see if we need to boost them some. They were very aware of the repeated calls at Gaslight and are working with management to get the system repaired. At least that's what was reported to us.
Do we have any data on our end of how many times we responded to a false alarm there?
No.
I'd like to see.
Township doesn't, but SCFD would.
Yeah, SCFD. Yeah, that's what I mean, SCFD. Does SCFD have any data?
They do. We can request that from them, yeah.
Great, great. And then regarding the process that SCFD has for residents with mobility issues to register for their program of assistance, do we have an update on that?
I don't know. I don't.
That may have not come up in your meeting.
No.
Could we reach out and find out?
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else for Mr. Weary? Ms. Credidio?
No report, Mayor.
Anything for Ms. Credidio? Ms. Fritzen?
I'm on a roll. I want to report that we have a primary election on June 2nd, and we have a voter registration deadline on May 12th, and township offices, the township clerk's office will remain open straight through to 9 p.m. Early voting locations are up on our website, as well as all of this information. And early voting this year for this election will be from May 26th to May 31st, Monday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And as far as events go, we have Memorial Day parade and ceremony coming up. And you've probably already noticed, if you have a group that's looking to march in the parade, that we already have everything out and available. We're getting returns already from many groups. And we're putting together the ceremony. And my final thing is we have so many events that we are having event planning meetings, numerous, every single week, just to keep up. So it's great, a lot of programming. That is my report.
Anything for Ms. Fritzen? Okay, we'll go to elected officials. Committeewoman Adams.
Oh, I'm first. Just one thing, I just wanted to, from Engineering, Public Works, and Planning Committee, we held 2 public meetings in the last week with over 100 residents over the 2 meetings, just to go over the plans for Prospect Street. We have some deadlines to meet because we have significant grant money funding this project for the entire length of Prospect Street. It'll include, the current plans are including bike lanes for the majority of the length of the street, and a lot of the input was really helpful in that it has helped the engineers and those of us who are meeting with them in between these meetings to amend the plans based on some of the feedback. And we'll be meeting one more time, and then we'll have the plans hopefully done in the next couple weeks, I want to say. So other than that, I think that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Committeeman Daffis.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items. We talked about the health department's move. Excited again about that. Please come on out and celebrate our ribbon cutting and grand opening over at 129 Boyden next Friday. I want folks to, if you've gotten your latest copy of Matters Magazine, you probably saw an article about the Maplewood Arts Council. It's a really great article. Have a look. It talks about the history of the council, why it was put in place, and what it does. And we hope that it will garner some support and interest in the community as we're looking for volunteers and new members. The Maplewood Arts Council has put out a space utilization survey, meaning facilities for artists, and generally a survey to the community to get feedback about events that are produced in town, whether they're cultural celebrations or others. It's a great opportunity for you as a resident to have your voice represented. Do you like what's happening at these different facilities? Do you dislike it? Are there things that we're not doing that we should be doing? Are there things that we're doing we should be doing better? And so on and so forth. The survey will remain open through the end of this month, and I ask the support of Township administration in promoting that through our comms channels over the course of the next remaining weeks of this month. Our rent control board is up and running, and we should have a new ordinance in the next couple of months. We're moving along very well. We're also going to increase our membership from our current ordinance's 5 members to 9. And we will be having great equitable representation among owners and tenants on the rent control board. Our community board on police is meeting tomorrow night. Join us to find out what they're up to. And in discussion tonight, I will be pointing out some revisions we're making to our ordinance that created the board. And last but not least, our Pride planning is in full swing at this point, with less than a month to go before June. June is Pride Month. I wanted to make note of a couple of events that are township events. In particular, put them all on the calendar. We will, of course, have our Pride proclamation during a township committee meeting starting at 7:30 on Wednesday, June 3rd. Remember, because of the primary election on Tuesday, June 2nd, TC will be on Wednesday, the following evening at 7:30 p.m. Come on by and support our Pride Proclamation. Our Pride flag raising will be the following evening on Thursday, June 4th, right out here, 6 p.m. Pray for good weather. Our lavender graduation is happening on Friday, June 5th at 6 p.m. at CHS in the auditorium. I ask for Township Administration's support in promoting the registration of that event. It is open not only to our graduates, but to graduates throughout the state of New Jersey, high school, LGBTQ identified and allied students. And we want to make the graduation successful. It is the only graduation of its kind that we're aware of, certainly in North Jersey, if not in all of New Jersey. That same evening at 7:30, starting at 7:30 at the Woodland, the graduates will have the opportunity, and other supporters, to have some fun. The Lavender Ball. We used to call it a prom. We were told that was outdated. So we're going back to our roots, our LGBTQ roots, and we're calling it a ball. So come on out and support and have fun. Our Youth Pride Picnic will occur on June 7th, starting at 12 p.m. over by the Hilton branch of the library, by the gazebo area. And that's always a great opportunity for youth to create their own space and have fun. And we usually provide snacks, pizza, ice cream, and music. So those are a few events that I wanted to put on everyone's calendar for now, and I'll report more fulsomely, of course, at the next meeting right before Pride. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Herman.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things to announce. First of all, I want to say it is May, Happy Jewish American Heritage Month. We will be reading a resolution on that at our next meeting. We also have 3 events this year to celebrate that Heritage Month. We are partnering with South Orange to put these on, so I'm really happy to share them. You'll see more of them in our socials and our newsletter. On May 24th, we have the Shalom Fest with Jewish dancing, food, lots of fun. That will be at the Woodland. That same week, on Wednesday, May 27th, there will be a free film screening and Q&A that will be in South Orange, co-sponsored by both towns. And then the following night, on Thursday, May 28th, there will be an author book talk. This is on a book called Hidden Lives, Stories from Child Survivors of the Holocaust, and our special guest will be Rochelle Goldstein, the author. And so we'll have 3 events this year to celebrate that heritage, so keep an eye out for those. This weekend, we have our second installment of the Talk to the Township. So myself and Miss Collins Colding will be on Springfield Avenue, right around Walgreens, from about 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Hopefully my other colleagues might join us. Come on by and talk to us. Anything you want to talk about. If you want to talk about traffic safety, you want to talk about bikes, you want to talk about proclamations, heritage festivals, the pool. Oh, you know I love to talk about the pool. So, and I can also talk about our amazing varsity softball team at the high school and how well they're doing. So lots of things we can talk about. Save the date for a couple of things coming up. We are planning a Wear Orange event at Town Hall for Friday, June 15th at 4:30. So you'll get more information on that shortly. And then also that Sunday on June 7th, I will be speaking at the Ethical Cultural Society. June marks the midpoint in my term on the Township Committee. We have 3-year terms, so I'll be reporting on what I have done on the first half of my term and what I plan to do in the next half. And from my committees, I want to report that from the All Access Committee and the Recreation Committee, we were really pleased 2 weeks ago to go and do the groundbreaking of the new inclusive playground at Maple Crest Park. So I hope you caught some of those photos and video online. We are just thrilled to get this project going, and we're looking at July that we might be able to open it up. So this is very exciting. We can't wait. For the Communications Committee, I wanted to, just share one of the things that we have been working on. I know some of my colleagues spoke earlier about proclamations, and one of the things that we're trying really hard to do is to make our website, to improve our website and make sure that we have a lot of really valuable information on there for our residents. And one of the things that we did, and thank you to the clerk staff for helping us out on this, but we have now a database of our proclamations that have been done so far this year and for the last 2 years. So if you ever wonder, this month is a special month for a certain cause or a certain, heritage month, and you want to see, has the Township Committee done a proclamation on this? You can go and check that out. So if you go on our website under the clerk's office, there is a list for proclamations. So I want to thank the clerk's office for putting this database together. It's a really wonderful resource for our community because these proclamations are about our values. And so I'm happy to share that. And then last but not least, the pool opens in 17 days.
Wow.
So that is Saturday, May 23rd. It's coming up, but you have until June 1st to buy your early bird tickets. So these are your early bird pool passes. Make sure you snap them up because this rate is the lowest rate since 2012. It is a really good deal. You have until the end of the month. I'm reminding you every single time I'm up here to go and get your pool passes because we're all going to be there and we're going to have a great time. And that's my report.
Thank you. So we will be at the groundbreaking and the ribbon cutting for the playground.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's what you want. That's your timing you want. Committeewoman Collins Colding.
Thank you, Mayor. This is going to be really short and sweet. Like Malia said, Township Committee woman Malia Herman said, we will be at, is it Walgreens this Saturday? Okay, and stop by. Let's talk about the latest fashions and our swimsuits and some important stuff.
We're going to come by and harass you.
Bye.
What is it? The Walgreens line of fashions? Is that what you're going to be doing? Yeah.
Fashions, yes. On our community services, I just want to remind everyone we have a list of camps and activities for this summer. We have some field hockey, girls flag football, spring tennis, adult open, gym basketball, MAPSO basketball, softball, squash soccer. We have parents and me soccer. So multi-sports we have, and just some other activities, track and field. That's a wide range for everyone, for the parents, for the young kids, the young adults. Please go on our site and just look at what we have and register to get our updates. And also for our arts department, I just wanted to remind everyone, we have, the arts and culture, we have a Haitian Flag Day racing coming up, and that's going to be on May 16th on Saturday at Town Hall here. So we will have a guest speaker, we'll have food, we'll have music, we'll have dancing, and lots of good eating. So please join us. And the Maplewood Record Fair is going to be Sunday, May 17th, and this is going to be at the Woodland. So, Emilia did mention about the Shalom Festival, which will be exciting. They're going to have Jewish dance troupes. They're going to have face painting. They're going to have traditional food and much more. She's worked really hard on this. It's going to be really exciting. So join us, and I think we have acoustic jam sessions at 1978 on May 31st, and we have another one in June and July as well. So join us with all these activities that the staff has worked really hard to put together. It's going to be an exciting next 3 months. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I have just, now you took a bunch of things, I just have a couple things to say. One, I'll just repeat again that this Friday night at 6 p.m., our new Congresswoman, Ana Lilia Mejia, will be here right in this room for a town hall. She's very interested in finding out what our interests are and have a give and take with us. So please come out, 6 p.m. It should only take an hour. I think they're trying to keep it to an hour. So 6 to 7 p.m. on Friday night right here at 574 Valley Street. And lastly, Mayfest is on May 17th, Sunday, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And one of the features is we will have the New Jersey, New York host committee for the World Cup, their double-decker bus. So you can come out and get some swag from the bus. You'll be able to take pictures on the bus. There'll be some games, some fan experiences there. So come on out. And then Mayfest is a great experience in and of itself. So that's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday, May 17th. And with that, I will move that we go beyond 9:30.
Oh, I was going to do that.
Second.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Golding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Ms. Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. And our first discussion item is Baker Street and Valley Street right-on-red restriction. Committeewoman Adams.
Yes, we spoke about this a few times at Engineering, Public Works, and Planning. The recommendation of the consulting engineer who studied it would be that there's no right on red from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., if I'm not mistaken. Am I not mistaken? 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., right? Or is it 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.? 6, okay. I just clarifying because that meeting was, 5 years ago, it feels like. So that's the discussion item. Is there, I personally disagree, but I know I'm in the minority, but what does everybody else think?
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, everybody okay with that?
I also disagree. So I recall actually that our engineering and public works meeting, our traffic engineer did a study of the crossings there, and he found heavy pedestrian traffic pretty much, like you said, from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and a little beyond. However, I recall him saying that based on his expertise, a straight no right on red is safer than a sign that has exemptions. So based on that comment that he made, with his expertise and my own personal experience at that intersection, the pedestrians who have been hit there, I believe that we should not make that change. So currently there is in ordinance, I believe there is a no right on red at the intersection from Baker turning onto Valley, and currently from Valley turning onto Baker, that is allowed. However, the county put up a sign that says no right on red except for exemptions. So I do not support making any changes. I think it should be no right on red at both of the turns. This is a very busy and dangerous intersection. Children going to and from two schools, Tuscan and MMS, cross at both of these sidewalks. Plus, residents heading to and from the train and to our new library cross here. Additionally, numerous families and residents from all over Maplewood cross to attend Maple Woodstock, Pride, 4th of July, Juneteenth, any of the other amazing events we have there. A pedestrian, if you recall, was struck there crossing Baker earlier this year. And then if you also recall, our crossing guard was struck at that same intersection last year. And speaking of our crossing guard, who has been there for many years, she's a lovely woman. I spoke to her and asked what it's like to guard that intersection since the county did their work. If you recall, they did a bump out of that corner. And so what it did is, while it does make the crossing a little bit shorter from Baker, it also makes the two crosswalks much farther apart. And she said it's really difficult for her to go from crossing kids across Baker to go all the way over and then cross them across Valley. And she said she does find it to be very unsafe. And, so for that reason, I really think that we need to look at this from a traffic safety perspective. I do apologize to motorists who might, not like this. Sometimes I'm in a rush too, honestly, and it's hard to wait at a light. You're at a red light and there's no cars going the other direction. I get it. That can be annoying, but we have got to slow traffic down in our town. Residents have told us at these two bike lane meetings that we held, and even emails that we've received since the meeting, even a couple today, they want a more pedestrian-friendly town, and they want it to be safe to walk around. I am absolutely 100% committed to traffic safety and doing everything we can to make this town safer for our kids walking to and from school and all of our residents walking around. So I can't support any changes. I would move that we keep the turn from Baker onto Valley, no red on red at any time, and that we make the turn from Valley onto Baker, also no red on red at any time.
Can someone remind me what our traffic consultant recommended?
Well, the discussion by the whole Engineering Public Works Committee landed on 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. to have no red on red, to allow it later when there's very little, if any, pedestrian traffic. The consulting engineer that Ms. Herman is referring to mentioned that he personally prefers no red on red ever, anywhere. If I would be fine with it were it not for so many parents driving their kids to the middle school and picking them up. If we truly had fewer cars driving to all our schools, especially the upper grades, middle school and the high school, that's a huge part of the issue, and we're changing traffic patterns and we're trying to address it all over the place when there are students who should be and historically have for over 100 years been walking to these schools, so all of a sudden we need all these traffic patterns. But it also, the more cars that are on the road, the more pedestrian car interaction you have, the more opportunity there is for accidents. But the problem is the traffic backs up and all the way. If you don't have a right on red ever, the traffic backs all the way up to the country club there on Baker, and just it ends up being road rage situations and people speeding up to try to make the light when it's green so that they don't have to sit there. So I think a common sense approach and a logical approach would be to allow it later in the day to turn right on red, and pedestrians and drivers both need to be responsible for making sure it's safe for driving and for walking. But that's how I feel about it.
So right now, there's a conflict, because on the books, we have a no turn at any time.
Yep.
Off of Baker.
The county changed.
The county changed that to 7 to 9 a.m., no turn, and 2 to 4 p.m. Our consultant was very clear that he was against that for sure.
Yep.
Because people don't know times. When you have those block of times, people say, oh, I thought it was 7 o'clock, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So that's where we are. So right now, we have no turn on. If we do nothing, it will revert. It'll just stay where it is, and that'll be no turn on at any time, and the county will have to fix those signs to be consistent with the ordinance. Is that correct?
It's a county road, so they get
County road, so
they
they can,
get to regulate the turn from Valley onto Baker and
not the one from Baker, though.
onto Valley. Correct.
Right.
They have put up those signs on both of the turns.
I believe that if we went to the county and said that we would want no turns to be consistent on both corners, they would probably agree with us.
That was my follow-up question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you have anything more?
Yeah, I just want to say, I think the simplest thing to understand and to enforce is the no turn on red at any time. And that is a big intersection. And while at night after 8 p.m. there is less traffic, I do think that that's also a time when people could be impaired, tired after work, and or more than that. Just to keep it safe and simple, no turn on red at any time.
I think there are a couple of things going on. We have a school right there, and kids are constantly at that corner, and that road is really, really, really wide. And I think whichever solutions we come out here tonight will not satisfy what we're trying to achieve. Those kids being in the crosswalk, the roads being wide, like the crossing guard talked about, and the county road and our turn, that is, is what it is right now. So I think part of what we need to do is do more research and see how we can solve that problem, because our most valuable citizens and community kids are on these roads. So I think we have to find a solution for that. The simple fix wouldn't work in the long term, because I know I've been on that road and I try to walk my kids most of the time, and my husband walks my kids sometimes. Well, most of the time. I kind of walk the kids every so often. But it's crowded. The cars are backed up all the way down past the school around the corner. It's just a terrible situation. I think we need to think this through and figure out a way that we can come up with another solution, servicing all the needs that we have. We may not get it all right, but I think we can come up with some creative ideas, and we should put more thought into what we do here.
So let me press you. So right now, there's no turn at all times. Are you saying that until there's further study, you want to keep it at no turn at all times?
Well, right now, there is turn, 7 a.m. to 9.
No, that's...
Or
well,
no turn, 7 a.m. to 9.
That's not what's on the books.
Yes.
Right, I
So you
know.
want to keep it what's on the books
What's on the books is no turn.
at any time?
Yeah.
Off of, okay. All right. So there's insufficient votes to change what we have, so we need to, and so let me ask the second question. So that would be no turn at any time on Baker Street onto Valley, a right on red there. That would mean the elimination of the arrow?
I'm not sure because I still don't understand. The arrow is when you can turn. And it's-
Yeah,
It
the
is,
arrow's
it
not
is.
on-
Yeah.
Not red. then.
But it's also, okay. All right, so that doesn't,
let's
so
not go
that, so
there.
they would have to come back. So we'd have to go to the county and say we want no turn on red at any time from Baker Street to Valley Street, and they'll have to come back and tell us about the arrow. The question now is, do we also want to request from the county no turn from Valley onto Baker Street, no turn on red? I would be in favor of that. It's
Me
a
too.
very
I would be in,
wide
it's a
corner.
very long, it's like,
Yes.
you have to pull up a lot very far
Yep.
into the intersection
Yep.
to make that right. So I would
That would
absolutely
help a
say yes.
bit, I think, just to,
All right.
but I think
So-
we'll have to revisit it.
Okay. So I think that's where we're coming down, is that no turn at all times from Baker to Valley, no turn at all times from Valley onto Baker. One we control, one the county controls. Okay, so we will get that to Mr. Kittner, and he will make that request to the county. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. 17B, Community Board on Police, the ordinance revisions.
Thank you, Mayor. This is my discussion item, and bear with me, I do have a lot of detail to express here, to share. I know that I've forwarded a memo to the Township Committee in advance of tonight's discussion, and worked on this in partnership with our Township Attorney, of course, and the board itself. But for the public's edification, because good government is transparent and informative government. So the board was implemented back in 2018, my first year on the Township Committee. I was an advocate for the board as a resident and on the original working group of the board, along with Mayor DeLuca. The board has several functions, including the ability to review civilian review complaints. These are complaints received by the public via email or portal about their interactions with MPD. Use of force incidents. These are interactions involving MPD that require the use of any physical force, including physical activity related to an arrest. And the ability to review internal affairs investigations after their conclusion, meaning the board cannot affect any discipline or investigatory result. It can merely advise or recommend any actions, for instance, recommending additional training of our officers post-investigation as a result of their review. When we created the board and passed our ordinance, there wasn't much guidance, if any, from the AG as to these types of functions at that time. In fact, in neighboring community of Newark, they had a board and it was being sued at the time for swimming in these lanes. So we didn't engage in this type of activity at first, and therefore never codified our process for such activity. Since then, the AG guidance became available, and the board found a process for this type of work in close partnership with MPD, one that both parties are very comfortable with currently. The revisions to our ordinance make this process official, ensures our compliance with all related AG guidelines, and generally tightens up our procedure in other areas as well. In summary, the revisions codify the following. that 2 TC members would serve as governing body liaisons, non-voting members. Currently, I serve as the liaison. On occasion, committee member Vic DeLuca, currently Mayor Vic DeLuca, was also a liaison. To do this for the rest of this year along with me, I recommended Deputy Mayor Malia Herman, as she also chairs Public Safety, and that aligns really well and overlaps with the work of the Public Safety Committee, and she graciously accepted. That the governing body liaisons can only attend the board's executive sessions by invitation by the majority of the board. The board is a quasi-independent body and should have the ability to go into executive session without the governmental liaisons. That when holding executive sessions, the board shall provide a summary of such meetings in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. That the board may request of MPD and receive copies of any documentation related to civilian review complaints review. A little wordy there. Reports filed by the public, arrest records, use of force reports, body-worn camera footage, dispatch reports, 911 call records, recordings or transcripts of radio interactions, internal affairs materials, any related documents or reports submitted to the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, the Attorney General's Office of New Jersey, or other prosecutorial body. That the board may request and receive the following in its review of use of force, similar materials to do the use of force review. That the board may review these materials only in person at MPD headquarters in the presence of MPD personnel. That's what we're doing right now already anyway. We're just, again, codifying this in the ordinance. That while at MPD headquarters, the board may meet in private outside the presence of MPD and after the removal of any MPD materials that they received. That any board member serving on the board civilian review, use of force, or IA investigation review subcommittee may not have a conflict of interest as outlined by AG guidelines. The following are identified as potential conflicts. Any member not subject to conflict a conflict of interest background check. We conduct background checks of all members of the board, so we're good there. We just need to codify that. Any member that hasn't executed a confidentiality agreement, we require that for board membership. We're codifying it. An MPD employee or officer in the last 5 years, any state, local, or other law enforcement agency employee, a prosecutor, criminal defense attorney practicing in Essex County, a relative of any of the above, a candidate for public office, any officer, employer, or official of the township, including any one of us as electeds. I currently am the liaison to the board. I helped create the board, but I do not serve on the subcommittee that does any one of these reviews. That the board's civilian review, use of force, internal affairs investigation subcommittee report out to the rest of the board and to the public its findings subject to confidentiality restrictions, meaning that since the board is doing these reviews, the subcommittee of the board is doing these reviews, it should report out its findings in general terms to the rest of the board and to the community. And I will add, and I will share this with CBOP tomorrow night when we meet, that I find that we need to do more of that going forward so that the community understands what trends have been identified and what the review of such materials has revealed about our law enforcement process here in Maplewood. Those are the proposed restrictions and the reason behind them. I support them. It is something we're doing already. We want to put it in the ordinance to have it official and to preserve it for future board members.
I'm good.
I'm good with it. The one thing, I'm sorry, go ahead. Did you have anything you wanted to add? Ms. Cadillo, you're good? The one thing is if Deputy Mayor Herman is going to also serve as the liaison, then we should do an official vote
Yes,
of the Township Committee. So I think we ought to put on for the next meeting a resolution appointing Deputy Mayor Herman as an additional liaison. We have the ability to put 2 people on there, but we didn't do that on January 1st, so we just want to do that.
Great, thank you for that.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can we get a motion on the consent agenda? Committeeman Daffis.
I move the consent agenda.
Second.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. And this is our second public comment period on any subject matter. Is there anyone who would like to address the Township Committee on any matter? Seeing no one in the room, please check online.
Anyone joining on Zoom would like to address the Township Committee on any matter, please raise your hand. I see no hands, Mayor.
Okay, with that, we will close this meeting. We will meet again on May 19th. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Adams? Ms.
Yes.
Collins Colding?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes.